From high atop the mountains where the Almighty is doing his little nickel-dime TV show, it's Prime Time with George Doronda. Tonight, Chicopee Health Director Richard KENDRA. Plus, watch out, Carolyn Lee, it's Central Florida's greatest entertainer, Jolly Joe KOZIOL. So get ready for the most entertaining show in the universe!
Hi, I'm George Doronda, and welcome to Primetime. And what a great show we have for you this evening. Well, let's just get going. My first guest is the most famous health director in the country. Yes, live from the Sally Jesse Raphael show, or direct from, whichever the case may be, it's Chicopee Health Director Richard KENDRA. Well, Richie.
George.
Welcome to Primetime. Welcome back. The most famous health director in the entire country.
I don't know about that, George, but it's a pleasure being here.
We have never seen another health director on the Sally Jesse Raphael show.
Not yet. I'm sure there'll be one.
Or what's next for you, maybe David Letterman?
I like that. I like that.
Well, we're here today, and we're going to talk about Chicopee's tobacco education program, which we've received a grant, and we're doing some
from the
advertising.
State legislature. We're very happy to get that grant. We've been criticized a little bit lately about the fact that we've got some good public service announcements out that are showing the hazards of smoking to teenagers, and some people felt that because we rescinded the no smoking regulation in restaurants that we were being kind of foolish to have these PSAs. Well, I certainly don't think it's foolish.
Well, the target audience that we want to reach is the youth anyway. We want to reach the young people. You have to hit the kids before they even start, if possible.
This teenage addiction to tobacco, this is what this whole program is directed toward. We've got the tank back there as I think a symbol of power. We're going to use the power of education to get to our youth here in Chicopee and throughout the state to show them the hazards of smoking. I think the public service announcements that we have out already, which you can attest to, you're the producer, we've got a good response from hundreds of people that said they're excellent. I feel the same way.
Well, the first group we produced utilizing a series of school kids. We used some of the dear age kids, the grade school kids from Chicopee, some kids from Bellamy. They were outstanding performers.
Yes.
And a group of high school students.
All local children who were involved in that type of activity. They may be smoking or they may not be smoking, but we're certainly going to try to show them why they shouldn't be smoking.
And that only scratches the tip of the iceberg. We have another spot out there which we call Blast, where one of our friends, Freddie Chiquette, gets blasted with a fire extinguisher.
Very good public service announcement. Very good.
And we even call out the entire fire department to cool them off.
The Chicopee Fire Department.
The Chicopee Fire Department.
Kind of proud of that.
Well, that's the thing. We've had great community cooperation throughout the production of these spots, and I think we are getting a positive message across. And you can have all the regulations you want. Regulations can be overturned, and I think we can all agree on that. It's happened. However, education is permanent, and if you can convince the kids at a young age, that's what counts.
Well, that's the purpose of these public service announcements. I think that's what we're trying to get. We're trying to get that point across, that it's hazardous to your health. I think there were a few misconceptions when we had the public hearing on the restaurant regulation that was rescinded. The press is certainly biased. We had a 2-hour hearing discussing the reasons why the ordinance should be rescinded or kept in place. And Dr. Ferris, our chairman, at the beginning of that meeting told everyone that was present that they would be allowed to speak and voice their opinion and how they felt about the regulation. He also stated at the beginning of that meeting that he was certainly against smoking. It's hazardous to your health. And he said that he would like order maintained during that hearing, and if order wasn't maintained, you would be asked to leave. The meeting progressed fairly well, and at one point, a group of Tobacco Coalition people got boisterous and loud Dr. Ferris had warned them previously, and he, at that point, said that if you don't control yourself, you're going to have to get out. The press picked that one 10-second shot and depicted it as though Dr. Ferris was talking to the entire group and that he was...
Basically he told them to keep quiet or get out, and that's what the press grabbed. And
at one point, they didn't pick up any of the other conversation where people were giving their opinion about smoking and how they felt about it.
There were a lot of intelligent comments. I listened to the tape just a couple of days ago from that meeting, and there were a lot of intelligent comments, both pro and con. And the press, they said, of course, most of the media and the press, not only in this area, but throughout the country, they're looking for those 5-second sound bites. They're looking for the scandal.
Yes.
And sometimes they create scandal by taking something out of context.
And taking that statement out of context for the average person watching this on television made it look as though that he was dictating to the group that was there on how the meeting should be conducted, and that certainly wasn't true.
Now, at the beginning of the meeting, when I listened to the tape, he said everyone would have 2 minutes to speak. And throughout the meeting, whether you were for or against, when your 2-minute time limit was up, he didn't just cut them off. He asked the person if they could please reach a conclusion and wrap up.
Everyone that was there was allowed more than 2 minutes. They weren't restricted at all. They were given the opportunity to make their statement, and when they've completed it, he went on to the next person.
But I know when there was the boisterous comments and some rounds of applause, that's where he said he wanted to keep the noise down and keep the meeting orderly. And
he was insulted at that meeting, and that wasn't necessary. Dr. Ferris, I've known for 40 years. He's a upstanding, excellent physician, and he's a dedicated public servant. And for someone to say that was disgusting, and it was someone from the Tobacco Coalition. And if I had been that person, if I had been Dr. Ferris, I would have sued that lady to no end. And he just disregarded it. He said, well, she's stupid, so just let it go.
Well, you can't make accusations without proof. You have to stick to the facts, and it was a statement that had no foundation
because you
in fact.
Can't have your way, you shouldn't go out and insult people. You know, things will come around. The public is given their opportunity. I think this issue will be put on a ballot this September, and it'll give us a better indication of how the general public feels about having a restaurant regulation.
And perhaps including other establishments in the regulation.
Originally that regulation should have included bar rooms, bingos, restaurants, any public place where people are gathering either for entertainment purposes or eating purposes or just plain social purposes, that they should be allowed the privilege of not having to smell smoke. But I think it should be done so that it's not discriminating and everybody is included in the regulation. I think the reasoning that the doctor and the other commissioner, Richard Davio, used in rescinding that ordinance was that bingos and bar rooms weren't included, and people smoke and drink at the bingos and bar rooms.
And many bingos are held on school property, and you're not supposed to smoke on school property.
Positively. But they say that it gets political. Well, I don't see what's more political than getting involved in something like that when you've got bingos in schools and they are smoking in those bingos. And you've got bar rooms. They've been smoking in bar rooms since the existence of bar rooms. I'm sure in the good old Wild West days they were doing it.
Back in the days of cowboys and Indians or tanks.
Or tanks. And they're still doing it today. And maybe we can arrive at some equitable decision where people will be given the opportunity to have an area to smoke in where it's economically feasible for that owner to provide this.
And still provide a safe area for non-smokers.
The solution to the whole problem, George, I think, is if the state legislature passed the statewide regulation prohibiting smoking in restaurants and whatever institutions or establishments that they felt was necessary. It would save the local communities, the towns and cities, from getting into the predicaments that we get into now of trying, especially to enforce these regulations when we do pass them. So
well, perhaps that's somewhere down the road.
I think so, but right now I think the important thing is that we want to educate our youth, our teenagers, to the hazards of tobacco smoking, and I think that the PSAs that we're putting out we're on the right track. We're doing the right thing.
Well, we are getting some great exposure right now as of this taping, and I don't have numbers back from all of the stations that the PSAs have been distributed to, but we are in excess of 345 airings per week.
That's great.
And I just heard from one station out in Boston, Channel 56, and I understand one of our spots is airing quite frequently, as often as at the rate of 2 or 3 times per hour. So we're getting some great exposure, and the idea is a good, positive, healthy message. And
rather than just
there are one statistic is there are fewer people smoking today than ever in the history since smoking began, and that is not because of regulation. That is because of education. People are more aware of the hazards of smoking, and I think if we can continue along that successful path, we'll have an award-winning program.
I think the program that we're conducting, where we're giving graphic displays of how tobacco can cause severe injury. We've had a lady with an oxygen tank and another man who's had a lung problem, and these are depicted graphically on television, and the kids can relate to this and see what happens if you smoke. It's going to make you sick. Rather than passing out pamphlets to kids at school saying don't smoke, or...
Well, you know how long a pamphlet lasts in the hands of
as long as it takes to probably
teenager.
Make a paper airplane and shoot it to the wastebasket. That's the way I feel about that type of advertising. I think our program is going to be a lot more effective than...
Well, we're trying to hit the kids where their attention span is, and that is on MTV and all of the other television stations.
That's what's been controlling this country since it's been in existence, the television set. And it's too bad, but if we have to use that as a media to get to them, then that's
well, it's not too bad. That's why people are watching us here at prime time.
No, yeah.
But that's it. The key, a good, positive, and keep the spots somewhat entertaining, as some of our upcoming scripts will be quite entertaining.
Something that'll attract their attention, so they'll stop and think and get the serious part of it, that it's entertainment, but at the same time,
get a message across.
It's something that we want you to think about after the program is over, that it's bad for your health. Smoking is bad for your health.
Hey, Richie, I think it's time to run one of those PSAs. So thanks for being here.
Sounds good.
And you're welcome back anytime, and we'll have some more updates to see how our program is doing. And you folks, stick around. We'll be back with more primetime wonderment right after this PSA. I produced it my own self.
Hey, is someone trying to send you a message to quit smoking? You know, there is an easier way. All you have to do is call the American Cancer Society's Smokers Quit Line. So call 1-800-879-8678. Call now and we'll all breathe a little easier.
It's the show that's giving you viruses like... This is A, woman looking for her son, B, daring the security officers to frisk her, or C, Catwoman on steroids. Bathe with it every day, and it'll be just like Lisa was there with you.
But
Lisa makes it at home, I think with her toes.
I see what you're saying, but I don't bathe every day.
Yes, welcome back to the big program, and we're here at the Summit House where Doug wobbles, but he doesn't fall down. And my next guest on the big program is, well, Central Florida's greatest entertainer. And if you don't believe it, you can ask him. He'll be glad to tell you the same thing. It's our good friend, Jolly Joe KOZIOL. Well, Joe, welcome to Primetime.
Thank you very much. I've been looking forward to this for a long, long time.
And we're down here in beautiful sunny, well, the sun just took a little nap this afternoon, sunny Florida.
We're right, and we are at beautiful Venetian Gardens in Leesburg, Florida.
And you know, there are a lot of people who wanted to know what happened to Jolly Joe. He was on the air for a number of years up north in western Massachusetts, where we air here on Primetime, and you've moved. You left our area for a more beautiful area.
I left the New England area because I'm not crazy about the winters, and I really love the weather down here. It's fantastic. It's like this all year round, George. It's beautiful down here.
So we're here in summer, and actually, when we left Chicopee, it was like a sauna. It is less humid down here in Florida than it is in Chicopee.
Right now, at the present time, it's really hot and humid up there, and you can feel a nice breeze off the water here. So it is warmer up north than it is right now. It's beautiful here.
So what's been happening in the career of Jolly Joe?
Well, we just did the radio show. You, me, and Doug did the show on 790 WLB. I featured a polka party show for the last 8 years.
Hey, you've had your show going consistently?
I had it going consistently. I was off for about a month or two, and now I'm back on the radio, and I look forward to doing the show every week. It's a fun show.
Now, what can people look forward to when they listen to you on the radio?
They can look forward to me singing In My Garden polka.
Is that a regular event on the show?
It's a regular, and I've got this lady, Stella Martinowski. It can't be a show unless I sing a number for her.
Now that's just it. You sing live on the radio with the records.
With the records, and I dub in a lot of vocals, and I enjoy it. I really enjoy it, and it makes it fun. And this one, Stella calls every week. She says, Joe, could you sing me a number? So, and I really don't pay her for it.
Well, you know, there aren't too many other radio artists you can listen to who sing with the records.
I really, when I first start the show, like you did the show with me today, and I'll start off kind of quiet, but after a while, the music puts a charge in me, and by the end of the show, I'm as red as a tomato.
Yeah, almost as red as your shirt. I was going to say that. WLB 790 AM on your radio dial. So when people come to Florida, they can check you out.
That's right. And while you got me on Primetime, I want to congratulate you, George, with your entertainers, and on the beautiful job you did on Teach Me Tonight.
Well, that is your favorite song.
It's a classic. The vocals were good, and Joe on the sax was good. I forgot who your drummer is, but Carl, you guys did a fantastic job, and I feature that a lot. It's a classic with Joe KOZIOL.
Well, every show is a classic with Joe KOZIOL. And what's happening in the music career? We have your cordine here, and
I haven't played it in a long time, but you are kind of twisting my arm.
But I don't have to twist too hard, do I?
I'll play. I'll definitely play, and I've been busy too recording, as my tapes, and I'm.
Now, how many records are you up to now?
Well, I'm up to 17 cassettes, and I got a new CD coming out. Now I'm playing more like keyboards, and you can play more of a variety of the music, and this new technology on the pianos, and that, as you know, it always inspired me. And I started off as a kid on the piano.
Oh, so you started off on the piano. What brought you over to accordion years ago?
Then my uncle taught me how to play Wallace Strahada. I have to give him, he's not with us, but without him, I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be playing. So I really miss and love him, and he's a great musician. And then lifting of the accordions throughout the years and all that, I figure I'd go to where I don't have to lift. You know how heavy the accordions are.
Yeah, because that's right. This way you just play the keyboard, you move it in once, and there it is.
Right. I really enjoy it, and the new technology, like I said, and the experimenting and taping and all. I have to put out CDs are very expensive, but it's coming.
It's the next step forward because most artists now are recording on CDs.
Right. So CDs are, and you get a nice clear sound and all that. And I was going to ask you, how did you guys enjoy doing the show with me?
Wait a minute. It was a unique.
You're doing the interview.
That's right, and you're asking the questions.
Yeah, sorry, George.
Well, just like I was kind of taking over on your show today. We kind of took you hostage.
Yeah, you guys took me hostage, and I hope I'm back still on the radio after the show. I mean, no. We did a good job, and it was good to see you and Doug. And I want to congratulate on your show, and you send me all your videos, and you're doing a great job.
And
I mean that.
Well, Joe, when people they can see you performing live around the area?
I'll be October 15. I'll be playing a Polish club in Daytona. And don't forget, we did a couple cruises last year. We do those.
You're the king of the cruises too.
Oh, I love cruises. And next year we'll be up north playing for a couple weeks. The Seafood Festival in Charleston. I got to push that so some of the people come out, and you got to.
Seafood Festival.
Yeah, seafood where there's a lot of food.
I wonder if that's anything like the Taste of Chicopee.
The Taste of Chicopee? Well, Taste of Chicopee, you're the king of that because you're always eating pizza and all that stuff.
Well, Primetime is known for more food per minute than any other show on television.
The Big E. And
now you are known as Central Florida's greatest entertainer. Does the guy with the little black ears know anything about that?
Well, what do you mean a guy with the black ear? Are you talking about down Disney World?
Down at Disney World, because and if you don't believe me, you can just ask Joe, and he'll tell you himself.
Well, they say I'm the Central Florida's polka king, and I hope it stands up. And Little Wally's the polka king down in Miami.
But that's another area altogether.
Another area, but right here in Central Florida, I think it could probably stand up, right, with my resume and my background, hopefully.
Hey, between your radio show and you are a talented player.
And after Primetime, and I'm here in New England on this Primetime station, then my ratings should go up.
Well, maybe you'll even win a Grammy. Some of our other guests have.
I tell you, I'd love to win a Grammy or be voted into the Polka Hall of Fame. It'd be great, and you never know. But I believe in music. I've been playing a long time, and hopefully, if the people like my music and my recordings, and it could blossom into a wonderful thing.
Well, again, it's great to see you down here in Florida, and your career is going strong, and you keep moving. That's the name of the game.
Moving, and I appreciate this interview, George, and I'd like to say hi to all the people in New England. I miss you guys, and all the clubs and everything, and I'd like to come home for some visits, which I will, to see everyone, and all the Polish people or American, no matter what kind of music, it's just great to be involved with this music, and keep up the good work, George. I like all your videos and everything. You're right on top.
Entertainment altogether, it's a great business. Joe, yes. A pleasure having you here on Primetime.
Thank you very much.
And well, we'll have to swing down again to Florida because I don't think you're going to have a problem convincing me to take another trip.
Anytime, and great to see you, and I hope someday to have you move down here, and maybe we get together, play some jobs, and you'll come down to this nice state, and this nice Florida state, and
hey, it'll be great. And
wait a minute, I forgot one thing. Hi, Mom.
Yes, your mother is watching.
Right, and my sister. Hi, Helen. How are you? I love you.
Hey. Great job, Joe. Stick around. We'll be back with more Primetime merriment right after this.
You want to smoke? It's good for you. I've been doing it since I was 12, and it's good for you. You got to have a drag.
I used to say that.
Don't worry about your teeth. Everything they say on TV is so screwy. It's all right. It's okay. It's really cool.
I used to think that way.
Oh, come on, you chicken.
I used to say that.
Here's a cigarette. You want to smoke?
I used to say that. But look what smoking has done for me.
For more information, contact your local health department.
You know, Zoe has more talent than a lot of the bands that appear right on primetime here.
Up next in the program, an interview for those of you that care.
Billy's Pierogies with
Extra butter.
Will they fire me in television someday?
It's amazing, and it's beautiful. It's super.
He's multi-talented.
Multi-talented, just like yourself.
We've just learned that Madonna will not appear naked for the remainder of the calendar year. Welcome back to the big program, and I think we have to go now, and you know, something is very haunting about this location. Haunting memories. I'm glad the show is over. Good night, everyone.
I think smoking is sexy, and when I see a guy who smokes, it's just great.
I used to say that.
I think it makes me look older. I have all these guys that come up to me and go, oh my God, she must be at least 18 if she's smoking, right?
I used to think that.
You have to try and smoke. If you're not smoking, you're not cool.
I used to say that, but look what smoking has done for me now.
For more information about staying smoke-free, contact your local health department.
As always on primetime, more food per minute than any other show on television. It's my show. I'll tell the jokes.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
See?
And if you, the folks at home, would like to get free food from Pepe, well, what you have to do is get yourself your own TV show.
So that's why you look like me, because you're a good eater, right?
That's it.
There's nothing wrong with that, though, is there?
What could be more friendly, because we have, again, a TV guy handing out free pizza. And the best thing of all, it's in color.